Yeah, we rise, we thrive. Yeah, we step in our light. Feel good, we alive. Everything aligned. Yeah, we rise and thrive with Dr. J. Nicole. Give a long way, yeah, we still growing. Feet on 10, yeah, still showing.
Okay, y'all, the secret is finally out. We are going to Bali. When I say I am excited, that is an understatement. I want you to think lush rice terraces, breathtaking waterfalls, incredible food, rich culture, unforgettable sunsets, and the kind of memories that you'll be talking about for years. We'll be traveling March 27th through April 2nd, 2027. So all you have to do is show up and experience while the planning is handled for you. But here's the part that you really need to know. There are only 8 early bird spots. And after those have been claimed, the price increases and you can reserve your spot for only 25% down. And payment plans are available through the firm. You've been saying that you want to travel more. Consider this your sermon. Consider this an answered prayer. And come on and come to Bali with me. Let's make some unforgettable memories. Don't miss out. Join the VIP list today. Today, we're talking about something that completely transformed the way that I evaluate my life, my decisions, my relationships, and my relationship with God. The fruit of the Spirit. If you've been going to church any amount of time, you've probably heard the list before: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. But somewhere along the way, many of us started viewing this as personality trait rather than evidence. The fruit of the Spirit isn't a checklist. It's evidence, right? Evidence that we're walking with God, evidence that God is working in us, evidence that we're becoming more like Christ. Don't delay starting the journey. Order your copy today. You already know who you are. This is a reminder of whose you are. Every piece in the Rise and Thrive collection carries that same truth we talk about every week. You are chosen, you are held, and you are walking in purpose. Wear it, carry it. The collection is live now.
Having a job was an escape because I'll be at the job for 8 hours. So I was at Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's and I was there at these places to where I didn't have to deal with a lot of those people. So by the time I get home, everybody's asleep, everybody into their
Oh,
own
'cause you went
lives.
right after school.
Yeah. So that was one. His name was the Ball. Never forget him. And I ended up seeing him in school, and he, I was not letting nobody do that type of penetration like that. That wasn't happening again. Not like that. And what he did was, I would fight him off or whatever, and I would be sleeping. I told myself I don't feel protected with this guy in my room. And so what he did is I don't know how he did. He tied the bed up, or, and had the thing around my neck and had me open my mouth. And he said if I bite it, he was going to stab me. He had like a little shank or whatever, and he put his thing in my mouth, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I'm not a big fan of a lot of roommates back then, especially back then. Now I'm okay because I'll mess you up now, but back then it was very different. I was not as strong as I was. I was very thin and malnourished. Mentally, I was not there. So I was just like, this is the norm. And then when I talked to other foster kids, because I went from house to house, the foster homes, a lot of the black foster homes out of that black foster home that was really good, it's like everything went downhill. I will never forget the Joneses. Jesus Christ is Lord on 37 and State Avenue. Man, that black man something was wrong with him. He would orchestrate fights in the house, and then he would make everybody. You know how somebody is so sneaky and good, they could orchestrate something and make it seem like you were responsible for it. This is how this man was, and it's his house. He paid the bills. You guys, the foster kids, y'all can get out. He'll tell a kid anything. You don't have to be here. You can get out. He was quick to call people the F word. He was quick to call people HOEs, what? WHOREs. He was quick to just say things. And he would say all in the name of Jesus.
All again,
And
identity.
and one thing that got me was that this guy was purple black, black, like lips and stuff. And he had some light skinned dudes staying in the house. One was a biracial that was staying in the basement, couldn't stand him for nothing. And then he had this dude named Jesse who was a Latino. And then he had Charles. That boy was out of control too, but he was a biracial as well. And he would always say when the black kids or when he didn't like something, well, you know the biracial's gonna get better treatment than you.
Oh,
Well, you know the light skinned kids.
reinforcing this colorism within the house.
Yes, yes. And it's like, dude, you are purple black, and you're talking
It
to other
probably made him feel powerful.
because you know probably grew up in that time. I mean, he's a dark guy,
And
so
he's
yeah.
exacting he's making them pay for what he experienced in the past.
Hmm. Yes.
But he's creating it and reinforcing it at the same time.
Yeah. And it was just one of those things. And it was so weird because I'm just like, this guy is the darkest person in the house. And you're doing it, it just didn't make any sense to me to sit here and talk to somebody like that. We're supposed to be, foster kid. And he always, and that light skinned dude, the downstairs couldn't do no wrong. Oh, yeah, him. And he loved Jessica. Jesse was, I think this is the reason why like, with me, I don't trust nobody. I don't care what race, nationality, religion everybody can get it. Even on my TV show, everybody can get it. I don't care. And Jesse was a snitch tattletale, but he was also one that wanted to start stuff. So he always wanted to fight me. He wanted to fight Charles. He wanted to fight other people. He would orchestrate stuff. And so what he was doing is because his name was Nolan Jones. Nolan Jones would sit there and go to Jesse and boost Jesse's head up about being, a lighter or having white skin or whatever, even though he's a Latin. He did the same to the others, so they felt powerful to do whatever they wanted in the house. And
Mm,
Jesse would orchestrate fights and everything. And Richard was one of the few black dudes that was in the house. And what Jesse did was they were all smoking weed. They were
mhm,
all smoking weed. But I guess they found Bertha, the woman that was the woman of the house. She acted like, oh, the Lord told me all these things was going, girl, nobody tell you nothing. Somebody came and told you something, and that's what happened. Stop all this Jesus Christ and all that stuff. I'm
yeah,
not doing that. It was she got on my nerves too. Well, what she did was, I guess they found some weed in Richard's room, and they just went in on Richard. And Jesse was sitting there smiling and not. And this was funny to me. What was so funny to me was that Jesse was smoking weed too, but nobody wanted to say anything because Nolan Jones was so infatuated with lighter skinned foster kids and light people that he would just sit there and take the light skinned kid's word. And Richard was interesting. People, everybody at the house liked Richard. They really did. But what was interesting is that because Nolan, the man of the house, liked light skinned kids, and he didn't have any light skinned kids, he perpetuated this
mhm,
stereotype.
mhm,
So it was very like, you wanted the light skinned kids to do well, but you didn't want the black skinned kids to do well in your house. So you're supposed to be a parent or a foster child to these kids.
mhm.
And he didn't want that to happen. And so it was one of those interesting things. And they end up letting Richard go. Bertha and everybody loved Richard and everybody. It was like, oh, Richard was great. But the problem is they didn't want to say nothing to Nolan because Nolan was so infatuated with light skin. This
Mm,
man, I promise you, if he could have got a white milk bath to change his skin white, he would have, if there was
yeah.
some type of thing. That's how, and I think there was some trauma that happened way back in the day.
Yeah, that's apparent.
And he was like that. And then once Richard was gone, Jesse felt like because Richard was like, he was like that stoic brick. Everybody liked Richard besides Jesse. Even Nolan like Richard, even for a dark skin, he even liked Richard. But Jesse said, oh no, he orchestrated that whole thing. They don't even know to this day. I said, I seen that Jesse do that. They don't even know. I said,
Mhm,
Jesse orchestrated that whole thing and he was doing it too. That's what the whole thing was. So that's why I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust kids either. I don't care.
yeah.
And what happened after that was then Jesse had me and Charles fight. So now he's trying to get me up out of there. And nobody liked Charles. He had diabetes and Charles will faint in the middle of Walmart or Walgreens. And it was always light skinned dude. Me with light skinned dudes, I'm like high and by with a lot of them because I'm just like, y'all, the biracials to me, y'all just, I don't get it. I just don't. I'm like, y'all will do stuff. and it don't even make sense. And he did that to get sympathy, but the thing was, Nolan Jones, the foster
Reinforcement.
parent, reinforced it. So you're sitting there looking like he loves light skin. Light skin this his wife is brown, like brown skin. She ain't light skin, but brown skin. But
Mhm.
everything light skin, white this, white that, they're gonna get better opportunities than you, blah, blah, blah. And reinforcing this when he should be saying something positive to brown skin and dark skinned people in the house.
Yeah.
His daughter is dark, just like him. It didn't make any sense to me.
But you how what's said to you, this shapes people's programming, this shapes
Mhm,
their identity, this shapes their lens and how they view the world, how they go into the world. So they won't even it could be a good opportunity in front of them, but
mhm,
because they receive this programming like you talked about Mr. Jones giving to people, right?
mhm,
They wouldn't even align with it. They would be like, "Oh, no, that's not for me. That's for you. Let me go get her. She's who you want." People speak things and we take it in. And it takes a lot of work to undo this if you ever get to the point of recognizing to
mhm.
do it.
Quick pause. I've been loving Canvas Beauty, a Black woman owned brand all about confidence and self care. Shop canvasbeautybrand.com/Genie3 and use code Genie3 to save. Now back to Rise and Thrive.
Yeah, yeah, we rise, we thrive. Yeah, we step in our light, feel good, we alive.
So then, in spite of all of these things, you've experienced all types of violence, and you didn't even mention that there was also financial abuse. You experienced, like you told it, but you didn't label it in the beginning. You've also experienced financial abuse when you were at the other home where she was making you give her all your money. You
Mhm,
got to go get a job, right?
mhm.
So, how do you make it through high school, through college? Like, tell us, because like now people that meet you, they would never know this, right? Like,
Never know.
you've built a meaningful life in the healthcare field, you're producing content, you've established the FTP network. And how did you, like, what do you think helped you make it through that transition from survival to stability?
You know what? It's kinda interesting. I knew I had a will that was stronger than other kids in
Yeah.
foster care. I don't really know because this is why I tell people I can't judge foster kids. I could never judge them.
Well, and their children has happened to them.
Yeah, and I said a lot of them, and just went a little bit before, well, she didn't shank me, but that's what she said when we was in like these group therapy sessions. This girl was complaining. She was like, "Everybody's been mentally, physically, and sexually abused. You ain't the only one now. Go ahead and tell your
Minimizing
story."
it.
Yeah, she said, "Go ahead and tell your story." Shoot. So like a little bit, I loved her. After we became cool, I loved her because she just kept it real and just straight to the point. And the thing about that is, I tell people a lot of these kids, I, dead in jail, welfare. Some got serious STDs they can't get rid of.
Mhm,
Homeless, all
mhm.
that. And I said,
On
what
drugs.
happens if
You didn't say drugs. Yeah.
on drugs, all that stuff. And I told them, I said,
Mhm.
a lot of them go out and these are the ones that's on the streets. And that's why I said a lot of these kids were foster kids. And I tell them, I said, what they do in foster care when before you age out, especially if you got a bad caseworker and they just don't care. And there's a lot of bad caseworkers. They get you your little backpack, whatever you have in there. They go ahead and put your hat in there. And what they do is they wake you up like at 3 or 4 in the morning. So the only people that kind of know that you're gone is your roommates because,
They
they're
heard you
shuffling
get
this,
up.
you're shuffling everything, but everybody else don't know. And then we'll wake up and everybody's wondering who disappeared. And
Wow,
that's the
that's
person that's,
another layer of trauma for the
yeah,
kids that are there. It's also giving slavery, like, you didn't know who was getting sold off, they would just be gone.
they'll be gone. And that was it at 3, 4 in the morning. They put the
Oh,
backpack. And the only reason why I knew what happened to one of the kids was because I have allergies because of Glenn Gordon. So when I was in that basement, I ended up getting like pretty bad allergies because of all the mold and stuff. And what I got really sick and I had to get up and they took me to one of like the emergency site facilities. And I seen one of the kids that was aged out of foster care was 18. They put the backpack on him. The caseworker, she gave him like a few dollars. They opened the door and they said, okay, we wish you the best of luck.
Meanwhile, they've not done nothing to develop him
Hmm.
before he was released, and really he left worse than he came.
Yeah.
My God.
And that's what happened. And it was sad. And that happens to a lot of foster kids that don't get placement. They would give them little backpack, whatever you have, the
What's
clothes in
in the
your back,
backpack?
your clothes. That's it. They'll put whatever you have, your clothes, your little tablet, your little school stuff, put it on your back, and then there was some foster kids that did not know where to go, and we would see them waiting on the out because you can't wait on inside the building. You're 18 now, so you can't wait on the property. So they'll be waiting on that wooden area, and they'll just be waiting there, sitting there, trying to figure out where to go. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do, and they're just sitting there. And you would see some of the caseworkers, you would see some of the guards that would ride by them and they would, talk to them, say where to go or whatever. And the kids, you could see them out there crying and stuff. It's horrible. I said they went through all that mental, physical, and sexual abuse just to be treated like that. Oh, good luck to you. And these are people that's supposed to protect you. And I can't say I got lucky. I had a will. I had some type of will in me. I
Correct.
I worked. Even when I got really deep into foster care, hey, I was at Wendy's. I was working at Sonic's. I was 8 hours a day. Hey, you got any overtime? You got any overtime for me? I'll do it. I'll stay. I'll stay. Just to avoid going to places like with Nolan Jones and, going home and stuff. And that's what kept me out of a lot of stuff. So I had a will. And I'm like, oh, not only can I make money, but I can protect myself. And, and I'm protecting myself by being at work. And I felt I felt safe. So
You are favored. You are covered even in everything that you have experienced. Wow.
and that's what I did, and it worked. And so they had a program called Independent Living Program. I
Okay.
will never forget these ladies' name. And this is why I tell people, like we on FTP, as you've seen our show. Nikki goes in on a lot because she experienced a lot of racism as well. I have too, but I've experienced very bad treatment from Black people. So that's why I don't mess with a lot of Black people like that. I
Mhm.
experienced a lot of bad treatment from Latins, Asia. So for me, I don't mess with nobody like that. I just don't. I've seen what foster care do. I've seen what adults do. I've seen what kids do. I don't have this, oh, I'm more of a person, you got to show me your works first.
Mhm.
To me, you're all guilty. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't trust you.
Dang. That's
I
how you
don't like you.
felt me when you met me? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, no, no. You can feel some people's energy, and your energy
Yeah.
was good. And even the way you talk, your energy was good. Just felt warm. You could see, but I could see other people that's, oh my God, I'm so bubbly. I'm like, you ain't nothing but a fake whatever. I don't like you.
You can feel the energy.
I could
You
feel it.
have a gift.
I could feel it. And people, and everybody that knows me, they says you be spot on 100%. I said, I don't try to be, but people, y'all do this in front of me, and it's like I spotted you down the street.
You are an expert in human behavior. That's one thing that comes out of everything you've survived is your ability to read people. It does not take long because survival mode says your
Hmm.
brain is going to clock all the patterns, right? Like it's going to do what it needs to do to keep you safe. You can detect when the tone shifts, when anything is wrong, and you're like, oh, out of there.
Yep, yep. This why,
Now, on the other side of that, I don't think well, I won't say that. It makes me wonder how much grace you have for people or if you're just gonna lump everybody and be like, right? Because humans are gonna human. At some
yeah.
point, they're gonna do something that you don't like, don't appreciate, or whatever. And for some people, they will completely isolate. They don't engage with people, or it's a wrap, or you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like it could be very extreme reactions, and so it just makes me wonder, like, what your engagement looks like with people, especially when your spidey senses go off, but really, it's data you're collecting. and you can feel it. You can see it. You know what it sounds like. You know what it feels like to be in danger.
Yeah, because like, I can tell when I'm talking to some people, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Mhm.
I could say this person's really not all that genuine. They're only hanging out with this person because of this. They're only didn't react to this person because they're related to this person. So I see a lot of stuff, and
Yep.
I don't say nothing. I'm just like, okay. And that's why I always ask people, who all going? Who all gonna be there?
So you can manage your energies. This is something I wanna be exposed to.
Because I tell people, I said, when you see, and I even stopped hanging around some friends that hang around these same people. I said, you know, this boy went to jail, stole from 3 different friends, lied, and then also, damaged his mom's car, and this is the person you still hanging around with? Now I
Yeah.
gotta start evaluating you,
Yeah.
and me and you can't hang around with each other no more. And I
Yeah.
told some people that. Some people got upset 'cause they talking about me now. They still talking about me now. I don't
Let
care.
'em.
I
Let
just
'em.
don't care because it protected me because
Yes.
I've dealt with so much throughout my life. I'm just like, I'm not doing what I'm about to be 40 soon. Heck no. I'm done with that. And that's why I said, going back to that, they created the independent living program.
Yes, yes. I was gonna take
And
it back, and I love how you walked yourself back there.
I got a talk show, come on now. I got a talk show, I know how to do these things now.
Yes.
And I will say their names, Stephanie Word, Susan McCamish, and Heidi Wu.
And say their names again because these are meaningful people, I'm assuming. These are
Yes,
people who helped you transition and transform your life because we've given voice to all of these other people.
yeah.
Say their names again.
Stephanie Word, Susan McCamish, and Heidi Wooten.
All right.
And these are 3 white women. That's why I tell people I can find gems in everybody. That I'm good at deciphering
Absolutely.
that. But what majority of any group, I don't care what group you're a part of, religion, that I don't mess with a majority. I know that
Religion doesn't automatically mean people are good. Let's be clear
yeah,
about that. And I think that's a thing that people have. They think, well, like, the sickest people need to be there because that's where they're going to be healed. You know what I
yeah.
mean? If they want to be.
And I tell people, I said, it's just the way I am, bro. Race, whatever, I don't care.
Mhm.
And Susan McKimish was actually my caseworker slash independent, whatever, but she was the caseworker. Me and Susan didn't hit it off very well. We had a rocky start because I keep telling everybody, whatever they write in that file,
Yep.
that is what it is. The judge don't. It's mostly because of the judges. They don't care.
Mhm.
And what is this about? Oh, you sat here and you stabbed the kid. Okay, you ain't gonna get no placement. Next, puts that gavel down.
Mhm.
That's all they see. And so Susan's going through my file. Oh my God, Julie Doyle and all these caseworkers and who all this? Oh, you tried to fight somebody. That's all she's reading.
Mhm.
Stealing and one thing I hate is a thief. So that everybody was like, they said you hate a thief. I said I know. So me to steal was just my cousins. They laughed at it when they said, "Come on now, dude, that was one thing you didn't do. You worked hard." I said exactly. So they was like the file. We already knew that file was mess, and they created this thing called Independent Living Program. There's this program was just new. So this is around 2003, 2003.
Mhm.
And I was still in college, not college, I was still in high school. I was going to FL Slagle High School in Kansas City, Kansas, after moving to multiple different homes. Well, we could talk about that a whole other time. There's so
Mhm.
many homes. Um, and so I was at FL Slagle High School, and uh, Stephanie Work reached out to me, and she says, "Hey, I have this thing I want to let you know about. It's called Independent Living." Didn't know who this lady was. And
Mhm.
she says it's a program to help children age out of foster care correctly. We're going to help you learn how to apply for applications, get you
Yes.
into college, get you an apartment, get you a car. We'll get you a stipend, etc.
Mm.
Beautiful program. It was rocky getting it started, but they was figuring out things, and this was the early phases. And so the first thing they did is they had us, learn how to use a laptop and get some skills because they said that's the future. And I mean, Stephanie Worp had it down. That white lady, I love her.
Yeah.
When this show gets off the ground and when I become rich with my FTP, I'm
Gonna
gonna
go
make sure to
back.
send. I'm gonna find them and send them a check. I don't know if she still works there. I know Heidi still works for them. It's called Valley Center. So that was there's some multiple foster care agencies. I was a
Correct.
part of Call Valley Center, so that was the one I was a part of. It's called KBC though, and she she had everything laid out, and the program. She was afraid to put me in the program because of my file. She says you and there was a few others she looked at, and she said some she just turned away. But she says there was something about your file that was just making me go back to it because she says I wasn't going to ask you at first. She says one of the things is your school and your grades. She says the ones that's having these behavior issues and getting kicked out of the house and getting all these placements, their grades is reflecting all that. She says, then she says, you're always working. She says, you've been held down a job for when they track everything. And she says, even she says, when we move you from this place, you'll say, okay, I can't be at Sonic's. Okay, let me go to McDonald's. I can't be at McDonald's. Let me go to. She says, you always working. She says,
So
what's
how
in
are
your
you even doing these things, right? If you always working and you study and doing your homework.
that do you this is why I say when you have there's different levels of intelligent people. Some people
Mhm.
they just have knowledge. Some people are intelligent. Some people got common sense. Some people got street smart. Some people got book smart. Some people got all that.
And analytical thinking.
Yes. And she had all of that. Now she might have had street smarts like street savvy, but she had the rest of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And she just had common sense. Actually says what they're writing about you in your file ain't adding up with what you're doing. So she said, I'm gonna give you a chance. She says, don't let me down because they're
Mm,
watching me and this program is important. And you
yep.
let me down, me and you're gonna have a problem. And dealing with Julie Doyle, I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna have no problems out of me. I went to all the things she told me to go to. I learned how
Mhm.
to use computers. I learned how to do, I went to this retreat, which was so good. I ended up applying for an application, got accepted to, and she says, I'm gonna get you into a division 1. She says, I don't want you going to a community college. She says, all the kids that's in this program now want to go to community college. And most people that's in the community college, they drop out, which they
Yeah.
did. And she says, not only they drop out, they're back to doing these little jobs at McDonald's and stuff. And she said, you already did this already. She said, I see more plans for you. And so worked hard, got me into the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. I
Mm.
was so happy when I got in. I said, thank you, God. And I said, I'm about to be free. And worked hard. I did all the applications, did everything. And they had some scholarships set up, but everything is too good to be true sometimes. People don't like too much success, especially you're the only black kid that went to the Division 1 from KBC. Oh no, it was a few people that told me that they wanted a white kid to do it. The white kids couldn't do it. They were so tired from the mental, physical, and sexual abuse of foster care. They just want to get out and just live their life. They didn't
Yeah.
want to be they just want to go.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understood that. It was me, a Latin girl, and I think it was that white girl. So I think she was white. I think she was. We were the only one, our East Indian white, one of those. But we were the only ones that went to college. I went to Division 1. They went to community college. I don't know if the East Indian one graduated, but I do know that the white girl, she graduated. No. The Latin girl, she graduated from community college. And so I went to Division 1, put myself through school. They were supposed to
Oh,
have
you
some
were.
they were supposed to have some scholarship money from me. I had the scholarship for a little bit, and then allegedly the state had to do a revamp of resources or whatever,
Got it.
slashed all that. So now I'm in student loan, and I was just like, oh god. So then I had to use student loans to pay for my schooling, and so now that's how I got into student loan stuff. But I thought I was going to be good. I thought everything was going to be great. They slashed all that.
But you were still
So
good. You still finished.
I still finished. I said, even though I had to take out a loan, this they call it the KU endowment or whatever. I had to take out a
Mhm.
loan from them, and then there was some back and forth that happened between them, and then they discharged it. Because I'm like the endowment, which is interesting. The endowment, what they do is they donate money to the endowment as a donation to help the kids, but you want to lock me up into a loan to where I'm like in debt. It's like, but they're donating to the school. That's what the endowment. You gotta make people
So the
always trying to
money
do
just
some.
keeps growing, 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 growing,
Yeah,
growing. Yeah.
there's always some trickery, and so I think that they didn't want to do the court thing. It would have looked bad on them, and so they just took it off, and it was a blessing. And I graduated.
Yep. Well, those are supposed to be just flat out scholarships.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's always some loophole to try to do something else. 1 second. Apologies, had to get that chicken out of there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do not burn up your chicken.
I like it a little crispy. You know, when you pit it in the refrigerator, it
It gets
gets
soft.
kind of soft and soft, and I like it crispy. I like crunch, crunch.
Yeah.
I like the crunch. And I graduated, and it's like I kept having trials and tribulations. So when I graduated and the scholarship and all that stuff got cut, um, the economy downturn. I graduated around 2009, 2010. The
Oh,
economy
yeah.
downturn. So now I'm fighting the economy. So I'm fighting the economy. Just got out of foster care. Just graduated college. I'm just like, oh, I just want a break. I was looking for jobs and everything, and then lo and behold, uh, I ended up getting hired at Enterprise Rent a Car.
Okay.
Um, Went to a staffing agency because nobody
Wait,
would hire
what
me.
did you major in?
Majored in business and film.
Okay.
So I wanted to
Okay.
leave. Yeah, that's this is coming full circle.
Yes.
I wanted to leave, but the economy was so bad from the housing prices and stuff that people
Mhm.
was like, "You ain't trying to move." They said people are being homeless, they've been kicked out, and I was like, I got scared. I'm like, I already dealt with all that with my mom.
Don't
You know,
need
we
it.
were homeless multiple times. I dealt with that in foster. I said, no, no, and so I stayed. But you're in Kansas. You're in racist white Kansas. I'm sorry to say that, and they ain't got no black people like that. They
Mm.
not. They hey, you gotta find your own. And so I went to a staff mission and I begged this guy, I said, "Hey, I don't have really a place to stay. I'm looking for a job. I graduated. I did all this degree stuff. I did everything. And I'm still not making it. What's going on here?" And he
Yeah.
says, "It might not be which a part of your degree, but he said, I do have something that landed on my desk." And it was Enterprise Rent a Car. They was looking
Okay.
for Enterprise Rent a Car do a manager in training programs, assistant manager in training program.
Okay.
So they do those, and it was perfect because they're going to teach you how to do the job anyways, and they only do it for people that are young and is coming out of college. It was perfect. Did that,
Mhm.
passed the exam, did the assistant manager thing, the assistant thing, and then I went to the airport because it was more commission. Did
Okay.
that, but I didn't see a future in. You know, it's just too much politics. Like if I was in Atlanta with the black people, I think I probably would have been a senior vice president right now. But I mean,
Mhm.
that's why I tell people, and we say it, wrong place, wrong time. You're not in the right
Or
spot.
right place, right time, because it was a redirection, because you were not supposed to be with Enterprise.
Yeah. I was supposed to be in California living my dream, and it didn't happen that way. And so
Yeah.
end up leaving there, had to do some little odd jobs here. And I said, I'm going to go back to school. I said, this is not what I want to do because before I went to school, well, as I was in school, believe it or not, I wanted to be an anesthesiologist.
Okay.
I love medicine. I love it. But because the foster care business or whatever in the state redirected funds and they cut it. And it also was something that they wanted to give it to other kids who's aging out that didn't want to go to school. And I'm like, but I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, I mean, you want real success stories. You want people that's like building
But they
empires to help.
don't. Sometimes
Yeah.
you really don't want that, right? Because the goal is going back to, like, the spiritual part
Hmm.
as well as, like, the racist part of things, right?
Hmm.
Like, they want to make it look like they're doing good, but they really don't want success stories
Yes.
because then that means that's one less person that's operating in darkness, despair, desperation, right? Versus then you actually come up out of it. Like, everything about what you've described is meant to break a person. It's not meant to pour into these children who have already gone through so much.
Hmm.
It's not meant to be that. And so I get it. People do need funds, right? Like those kids that you talked about, they would leave out and they're sitting there, they have no idea. They have no plan, no funds, right? It shouldn't have to be an or.
Yeah,
Like, if anything, it would have been great if a child could choose, do I want to go to college or do I want to like start my life?
that part. And that, and even when and I won't say who said it in foster care, but even when I was on the phone with two of them, they said they didn't make it. They said the whole restructuring didn't make sense, and they said it affected you, and we apologize because we also was a stipulation that they only wanted to pay since the funds were cut, those funds got to go to a program to where they can see an actual degree. It can't be for something where it's outside of a 4-year degree, which is like being a lawyer or being a doctor or engineer, which takes 6 to 8 years and sometimes 12 years, they don't see any progress with that. So it made it challenging and harder to make the program look like it was successful. And so I had to downgrade from anesthesiologist to doing business and film. And
Mhm.
I've always loved film anyways, but business was on a side note just to say, hey, I can do a business job. And I tell you, I went to so many places and tried to get hired. They was black, out, no, no. Went to Enterprise, performed, but it wasn't for me. And I said I want to go back. I want to go back to school. Went back and did health administration. Well, first of all, I did HR because I
Mhm.
was like, okay, maybe this should do. So I got a master's in HR. Believe it or not, nobody knows that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't know.
yeah, I have a master's in human resources. That's how I know how the human resource how they run because I
Mm.
was like, yeah, y'all on some mess. You know that you were supposed to do this, and okay. So I always tell people that. So, but I was like, when I did like a little bit internship, I said, I'm not trying. It was again, I'm not trying to do all that paper pushing. I don't want to do the politics. I just want to do my job, do it well, go home, and live a good life. So I said, you know what? I want to go back. I said, let me just go medical and do it. So I said, since I can't really do anesthesiology because I'll have to go back and do some of the elective and
Mhm.
some of the core classes, and then I have to go into residency and all the other stuff. I said, let me do health administration.
Yeah.
That's a part of hospitals that runs nursing home. And believe it or not, it runs like, research and all the other stuff. So went back and did that, got my degree, and then got into the medical field and been haven't looked back ever since. And I love what I do because, I look at a lot of like different therapies and things that happen, and I love it. I said, I might not have got what I wanted. I still wish I was an anesthesiologist because I mean, that's what I wanted to.
There are
Um,
plans. There are other plans.
But there are other, and that's why I said it's all right. But also, I was glad that I went and got my film degree because I said that was also something I wanted to do. Now I'm starting my own
You've started.
network. I started my own network, and I got a team now, and we're on our second show, Love and Live. What we change it to now?
Love
Because it
and
was
life.
Love and Life. Because I know we had some changes, but it's called Love and Life
Mhm.
with Dr. J. Nicole and Vision, and you know, met some great people. We're working on some other TV shows as well. And I'm still working in the medical field. And I said, things came full circle. So
And it's
I'm
not even done, though.
not even done. I said, and I'm still, and I things is really about to kick off when the network
Mhm.
comes on board in early May. So I'm like, it might not have been the way it was supposed to happen, but I got there.
But it's how it's supposed to happen, like, all of these things we've gone through, like, I didn't have a easy life, and it's not a comparison at all, right? Like, you've gone through so many, many things, and you're still intact. You're able to smile. You still have light about you. This is why I'm like, "Dude, you are covered. You are called for something higher." And all of these attacks on your identity and even from like religious communities to that could cause you to turn away from God when it's really people doing this, right?
Yeah.
God has big plans for you, Chris. Big, big plans for you. And I need you to hear me when I say this and let it sink in and ask Him to reveal it to you, to give you a preview. And when we wrap, I want to pray with you as well. Like a lived experience like this and to come out like you went through the fire and you did not come out smelling like smoke. Like yes, there are remnants and things that you carry with you, right? Cuz that's lived experience. But for you to be in this space self-sufficient, you know, and just still ambitious and you're creating because we're created to create and you're creating and you're bringing other people with you and you have a vision and even as you talked about the way you were responding to adults as a child like you had a knowing that adults probably did not like. Even when you're like, "What did I do to you?" Like, "I don't understand what the problem is." And just being able to say, that's not right," as a child, right? Like, gifted, and this is something that's in you. Even you saying, "I had a stronger will," because God has a plan with all of this for you, all of it. And if you could sit down with the younger version of yourself, the child who navigated all of this, what would you want him to know?
I would want him to know that you're going to get through this and it's going to be okay. You'll see. Just wait. And I did.
Mhm,
You know, I'm at I'll say your 30s, like I'm at my peak time right now.
mhm.
And I'm happy and I feel better about myself and working on things and I feel like I'm accomplishing something.
Mhm. You are.
And and now I'm about to really be living out my dream with this network. So it took a long time, but I got there.
I mean, it took a lot of time. Yeah. So, what would you like to say to the future you?
Future me, I will say, I don't know.
Think about it. You vision. Your name is Vision, okay?
I never really thought about that. I would probably say, based off my trajectory now,
Mhm.
that you finally made it. You finally did everything you wanted to do. You did it successfully. And in addition to that, you're also helping people because that's deep down. I want to definitely help children. When I get
Mhm.
them a safe space, I will vet the people.
Mhm.
And I mean vet. And I don't care how people feel about it. When it
Yeah.
comes to kids and knowing what I know and what I experienced, I want to give them safe places, safe homes to be successful. I want it to be like where all those kids there, engineers, doctors, if they want to be a performer or whatever, I want to make sure they're set up in the right
Yes.
way.
Yes. Yes, Chris. One of the reasons why this conversation matters is because there are thousands of children across this country right now living through similar circumstances. Some are in unstable homes, some are in foster care, some are trying to figure out who they are in the middle of the chaos. What do you want people to understand about children who grow up in these environments?
One thing is be one thing there's a lot. I would say be patient for one. You
Mhm.
got to be patient. These are kids. I mean, these are kids that went through a lot. So be patient with them because, you know, you got to know what they kind of went through. And
Mhm.
especially if everybody's been a kid and you might have had a good life, but these other kids didn't have that. And I just explained a lot of stuff that I saw. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. There's so much I could have told. I said, so be patient with them and give them a chance.
Mhm.
Um, Everybody deserves chance,
Yeah.
but also make sure that you're really evaluating the child correctly
Mhm.
because that's why I appreciate Stephanie work doing for me because if she would have went by based off what other people said about me, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
And I appreciate her for that.
Yes. Yes. And if there is a person right now who's either in somewhere in the system, foster care, adoption, what have you, who they're either in it, preparing to transition, recently transitioned, or have aged out, like and they're further along, what do you want them to know?
That you're not alone and that I understand and a lot of other people understand. And you got people that hopefully this makes people aware. I
Mhm.
know I had a lot of cursing in the beginning because I'm so passionate and I got FTP in it. But I tell people, it burns me up when I see what happens to children by adults and how they get away with it and how they make the kids feel like they're the ones that are responsible for their own things that's happening to them.
Yeah.
And so I will say this, there is people that is going to be working on some things to change this, to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you have a safe place to live, a safe space. You're not being abused, you're not being neglected, and you just how they're giving you a chance. You got the kids and the ones that's in foster care. You got to give us a chance as well, and we'll work it out.
Yeah. And really, they have to believe in themselves, no matter all of those things that they were said. And really and truly, some of the biggest battles are internal in the mind and those narratives, all of those things that were said to them, those
Mhm.
attacks on their identity, you know? And so we close out the show with a signature question. If you could leave the audience with one powerful truth to help them rise and thrive, what would it be?
Perseverance. I'm telling you, I perseverance and resilience. I am resilient. I say the this is how I say it. Me being resilient, I just felt like I was going to get out of that situation, and I was going to work towards getting out of that situation, and I did. And you cannot stop to have a pity party because a lot of other people and kids are having the same experiences that you're probably having, probably even worse. And if I seen some kids fight, if they can fight, so can you. So having resilience and not giving up is definitely something that they need to keep in mind.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you so much for trusting us with your story today. And this conversation is just the beginning because what we're really talking about is not just about foster care. We're talking about resilience, we're talking about healing, and we're talking about the power of rewriting your own story. Believe it at that. This has been a transformative story, and I'm glad I had the pleasure of meeting with you and connecting you. And it's just interesting how all of these things happen. Very little, like, I don't believe really in coincidences. I believe in divine appointments. And our appointment came.
It did.
And so we're going to see where these things go. And audience, I want to thank you for tuning in for another powerful, very deep, heart tugging episode of Rise and Thrive with Dr. J. Nicole. And I want to encourage you to keep rising in faith and keep thriving in purpose. I'll see you next time. Chris,
Yeah,
if
I'm
we
sure.
want to stay in touch with you, how can the people find you?
You know what? I'm actually, I'm so focused on FTP. So I look at all those emails. I don't even look at my own emails. So they can email me at ftppodcastshow@gmail.com.
Mhm.
And I look through everything. And they can contact me and I'll reach out.
Okay, where are you on socials and all of that? What's coming up?
So my other social is I am Vision. So that's my personal social. You can also DM me on there as well. I've been so focused on the podcast that I'm only on that one and on my personal social. So those are the main two.
And so what's the handle for FTP? On
FTP. Oh, it's just FTP podcast.
Okay, just want to make sure
Eh,
in case we got new people who don't know, make it easy for
yeah,
them to find you.
yeah. FTP podcast show. And some people might see it. It might say For the People podcast.
Mhm.
That is us, and you'll see my face on there, so you'll know it's us.
Okay. Okay. And anything folks should be on the lookout for?
This network that's going to be launching in May.
Okay.
We want this network. The reason why I created FTP podcast is for the people, by the people, to bring power back to us. As you kind of see what's going on with the government and just the world in general, um, I think primarily Black people, we need to get back to community. And then also the allies, real allies of Black people need to get back to the community. So, we got these companies that's too big and they're firing people, seeing people being laid off. We're seeing, money mismanagement. And it's best for us to get back to going to the local farmers market, supporting your local farmers, uh, eating clean, doing, buying products that's healthy for you and really reading the instructions and ingredients on the back to make sure that you're protecting your family, making sure that we're not, overcharging each other, make sure that we're, even if it's a barter system, making sure that we're working towards trying to build a community to where people feel safe and they feel like we're actually advancing and trying to be a community instead of just being like all by themselves. So that's why the FTP network is coming out, because we want to make sure that everybody has a resource. Your hairstylist, put your stuff on there. Hey, your hairstylist in Atlanta, put it on there. Miami, put it on there. That way we can make sure that, hey, we are vetting you. We know that you're good people and that somebody got a good place to go or a good business to go to where they feel like they're going to be protected and they feel like they are working with good people.
All right, beautiful people. If this episode has already blessed you in any sort of way, we ask that you like, subscribe, follow, share, and leave comments. Feedback helps this message reach the people who need it most. And if you're listening and thinking, I'm ready to go deeper in my healing journey, we invite you to join our school community where we continue these conversations between episodes, and it's an opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals committed to growth, healing, and purpose. Also, do not forget, you can shop the merch and also explore all things Evolve at evolvewithdrjnicole.com. If you love today's look and you're wondering about this hair, you can use my promo code with the link in the description to get 15% off with Unice Hair. That's UNICE. Thank you for rising with us.
Yeah, we rise, we thrive.